I get it, Doc. I know how this is supposed to go. I tell you, my parents beat me or dropped me on my head. I had a horrible childhood. Boo-hoo! And sure, it had its moments. My dad beat me unconscious, my mom drank, but a lot of people go through that and don't end up like I did. Here's what really happened. When I was still just a kid, I saw the truth. Life is meaningless. Death is the only thing that matters. I was maybe 6 years old. I saw a dog die after it got hit by a car. There was something in its eyes I couldn't look away from. What did it see while its life slipped away? I wanted to know. I had to know. My grandma was old. She was gonna die soon anyway, so I just sped up the process, pushed her down the stairs. But by the time I got to her, she was already dead. So I decided I was just gonna have to do it again. After I dropped that hairdryer into my mom's bath, the cops sent me to a home for troubled kids. You want to learn real quick what life's about. Spend some time in a place like that. All the rules, all the things we say are important. They don't mean squat. They're a lie we tell each other. Chains we put on ourselves because we're afraid to face the truth. I show people the truth, so they can't deny it. I show them how to be free. Yeah, the home for troubled kids burned down. Someone had chained up all the fire exits. The windows had bars over them to keep people like me in, but I was already outside. I watched their eyes through the window as they realized they were trapped. All the kids who tortured me laughed at me. The teachers, guards, and doctors. We all learned a lot that day, especially me. My family, the kids at the home, the people I met afterward, they all looked so surprised when they died, like they couldn't believe it was happening. I wasn't learning anything new. I needed more. I realized I had to start killing people who wouldn't be surprised. People who knew death, and who knows death better than someone who brings it to others. That's when I decided to start killing killers. You think I'm some kind of vigilante? An urban legend who's killed other killers? Please. I just figured they'd understand death when they met it. Help me understand. But you want to hear something funny? They're just as shocked as anyone. And then it hit me, just recently. I've been looking for some kind of meaning in death, but maybe I'd already found it. Maybe death is as meaningless as life. I used to be like you, Doc. Trying to find answers. But there aren't any. Laws are only words. Death is just the end of the ride. You know what killing killers taught me? The only difference between them and solid citizens is they know the truth. That's my new mission. To show people. Open their eyes. It's the least I can do. I worked so hard to find the answers. Now I get to share the good news. How do I feel? Great. I don't know what you injected me with, Doc, but you should bottle and sell it because I've never been better. And I know you're gonna say this is crazy Cassidy talking, but I swear I can hear whatever it is inside me, in my head. What does it say? It says, we're in this together. It says it'll look out for me. We'll be inseparable, like best friends, or family. The voice in my head, it's still there. You don't believe it's real, do you? But you injected me with something special, something that made me stronger. Why don't you think it might be alive in its own way? I could show you. It grows like a baby. If you want, I could give you part of it, so you've got your own. No? Okay, fine. Suit yourself. Just remember, I gave you a chance. Interesting theory, Doc. I never had a real family that cared about me, so I'm trying to make my own. I think you're whacked in the head, but hey, who am I to judge? It's a nice idea. A dozen more like me? A bond stronger than blood? Imagine all the wonderful things we could do together. We could spread the truth, watch the family grow, pull back the curtain and show the world that rich vein of red just underneath.
This doesn't look good. They transferred me to the Ravencroft Institute. This place is for bug-eating lunatics, not a cat burglar with great hair. But something's up. The guards are terrified. Even the doctors are scared, and not of me. I get the feeling they're following someone's orders. So the smart play here is to find out who the man with the juice is and what he can do for little Miss Felicia. Everyone's got an angle. That's what Daddy always said. So I know there's a catch. But the offer the big guy made me, it's too good to pass up. A get-out-of-jail-free card, money, and best of all, power. Real power. The kind Spider-Man has. I'll be playing in the majors at last. That's the other thing Daddy said. In this world, there are winners and losers. This is my chance to be a winner. The price doesn't matter. I'm going to do it. Okay, that hurt. But I'm alive, and I haven't grown fur or whiskers. And now, I feel better than I ever have before. With power like this, I could take on the world. But it's not the world I have to take on, is it? I knew there'd be a catch. Well, Spider, a girl's gotta look out for herself. I gave you a chance to help me level up, and you turned it down. It's your fault. I just need to keep reminding myself of that. I've been watching the Spider for a while now. He's gotten better at fighting and hunting. Like someone's been training him. But really, he hasn't changed. Still playing the Boy Scout. Grabbing up purse snatchers and letting the world beat him up instead of using his power to get the life he deserves. No different than the sucker who punches a clock each day to make his boss rich. There's no helping guys like that. He deserves what he gets. Tailing the Spider was a mistake. It's just gonna make my job harder. Seeing him save all those people. Snap out of it, Felicia. You know what this is. You see a guy as exciting and dangerous as your cat burglar father, but with a good heart. The kind of guy who won't run out on you like Daddy did. The perfect mix of bad boy and nice guy. And it's your job to kill him. I don't think they write advice columns for that. Okay, do or die time. Literally. And the big guy's calling in his favor. Either the Spider dies or I do. And he's not just blowing smoke. He has the reach to get to me anywhere. They're calling him the Kingpin now, and it's not just a name. He's playing this town like a violin. Suck it up, Felicia. No one's ever looked out for you. You have to take care of yourself. Do this one thing, and it's easy street from here on out. Why is this so hard? Sure, the guy's got a cute, hot nerd vibe going on, and he pushes all the right buttons. But come on, Felicia. You barely know the man. Too bad it's not about him. Not really. It's about me. I started ripping off guys like Kingpin because I didn't want to spend my life jumping when they say the word. But here I am. Exactly what I fought so hard not to be. I've done it now. That was either my Declaration of Independence or a death sentence. Or both. The Kingpin's gonna have a contract out on me in no time. The smart move would be to get out of town. Hop a plane to someplace sunny and tropical, with umbrellas and the drinks and rich tourists with fat pockets to pick. He'll be distracted with Spider-Man a little while longer. That gives me another idea. I did it. Broke into Kingpin's office and hacked his files. Even after all the damage his fight with Spider-Man caused, his security was crazy. Definitely the hardest heist I've ever pulled. I don't know if there's anything here I can use. It's all encrypted. For all I know, it's just dirt on other people. But I've got time. I'll crack it. And then, I'll be the one in a position to make demands. Sounds like the whole city's going up in flames. And I'm sure the spider's right in the middle of it. Part of me wants to go help him. A stupid part. I already took a big chance. It's time to cash out while I'm ahead. So long, Spider. Maybe someday we'll get to know each other better. Not like normal people, the way you said. But like the people we are. The cat and the spider. Won't that be a day to remember?
What did that lunatic with the robots call himself? A spider slayer? Well, send flowers to his widow. We've made a handsome profit repairing the damage he caused to this city. However, this may expose us to an unacceptably high tax burden. We will reduce said profits by redirecting them to a non-profit organization, the Ravencroft Institute for the Criminally Insane. In addition to the tax benefits, our funding arrangement with Ravencroft could yield some interesting medical breakthroughs. Very interesting indeed. Lunch with young Mr. Osborn was most enlightening. I'm authorizing all requested funds to finance the special task force we discussed. Schedule dinner with the chief of police so that I may put to rest any concerns he might have. Tell him I'd like to see the personnel files of all suitable candidates on the force. Disciplinary problems are not an issue. Oh, and find out how much Oscorp stock is available for purchase, discreetly. I believe Harry Osborn may prove unfit to act as CEO much longer. Our internal polls show that Spider-Man's image is extremely volatile. The public knows little about him, and thus can be made to fear him. Except for one segment. He's very popular with children. Look into obtaining his likeness rights. I highly doubt he's sophisticated enough to have taken the step of copywriting his costume. There is money to be made. It's come to my attention that a low-level worker at Oscorp has been killed after falling into a tank containing genetically altered electric eels. His name is something nauseatingly common. Oh yes, Max Dillon. Osborn's people are trying to keep the matter quiet. I wish to see this man's body for myself. Given the fascinating properties of Oscorp's cross-species genetics, there may be a great deal to learn from his corpse. If he is in fact dead, I'm hearing interesting things from our friends at the coroner's office. As I suspected, Max Dillon was not dead, but rather in a dormant, transformational state. He now appears able to feed on, manipulate, and channel electricity. He has become something quite remarkable, and, sadly, quite mad. We must help this unfortunate fellow. Place him at Ravencroft, under the care of our most trusted personnel. I want regular reports on their findings. Our Spider-Man merchandise is selling well, but not well enough. Have one of our friends in the media start a controversy. A usual sort of thing, that our products are perverting children's minds and corrupting their morals. Then announce we may pull the products from the shelves. They'll sell out in a matter of hours. Spider-Man's image will take a hit, while we grow richer. I have significant doubts about the degree to which Miss Hardy can be trusted. While I hope her time at Ravencroft has inspired her to change her ways, her background as a common thief does speak to a disturbingly low character, as does her upbringing. Should she discover the truth about the death of her father, it could create further hiccups. Nevertheless, we have already learned a great deal from her participation in our medical research. Regardless of the outcome, it will have been worth it, but I want a close eye kept on her. It appears our association with Mr. Kravinoff has reached a point of diminishing returns. See that he's removed from the country as soon as possible, and send him somewhere with no extradition treaties. Have all security personnel review the footage of Spider-Man's break-in. I want every method he used to gain entry to my office countered. New codes, impenetrable doors. He will never get in here uninvited again. Oh, and find me the finest encryption experts in the world to develop computer firewalls no one can breach. Explain to them that failure will mean termination of their business relationship with me, or anyone else. Draft a speech. Our deepest sympathies are with the Osborn family, and all affected by their mistakes. While my friend Harry Osborn is the victim of both physical and mental disease, and therefore not responsible for his actions, that does not mitigate the pain and suffering he caused. Perhaps Fisk Industries should purchase Oscorp and restore it to its former glory. I could bring some measure of peace to the greater Oscorp family, and, ultimately, to the entire city. It has been a long, dark night, but the dawn is breaking at last.
This gang war's a crisis, but it's also an opportunity. People get careless when they're backed into a corner, and these guys are so focused on fighting each other, they're taking chances they wouldn't normally dream of. I think we can use this chaos to catch organized crime figures off guard and shut them down for good. Hammerhead. Used to be a soldier for the mob. Dumb muscle. Leg breaker. But then, he survived a near-fatal head injury. He had most of his skull replaced with metal, and the rest of his body augmented with cybernetics. I've seen him run headfirst into a brick wall and smash it to pieces. Wrap a machine gun into a pretzel. He's also hard-headed in the sense that he's stubborn. And that's how we'll get him. Hammerhead likes to dress and act like a 1920s gangster. Pinstripe suit, Tommy gun, the whole bit. He also uses their methods. Cement shoes, gunning down enemies in the streets, and keeping his business records in old-school ledgers. But we've come a long way since Prohibition. If we can catch him, I can put him away like his hero Al Capone, on tax evasion charges. Mr. Negative controls Chinatown. We've got plenty of eyewitnesses to his crimes. We could convict him easily, if we could ever find him. His weird appearance and incredible strength clearly show superhuman power, and they make him hard to ID. He's like a negative image on a photograph. His face is always in shadow. I don't know what kind of weird energy he controls, but we need to find a way to stop it. Mr. Negative's men show an unusual level of loyalty. It might just be that he pays them well and he can charge up their weapons with his negative energy to make them extra effective. But I'm starting to think Mr. Negative might actually have some kind of mental control over his people. If that's true, and we can find a way to break it, that will be our key to prosecuting him. Of all the city's crime bosses, the Hood scares me the most. I thought his black magic gimmick was just that, an act. But I've seen and heard enough to make me wonder. I saw him walk on air and disappear in front of my eyes. And sometimes his guns seem to shoot hellfire. And that voice sends chills up my spine. I've busted guys who say he's possessed by a demon. But that's just a rumor, and it's gotta be, right? I don't believe in black magic. I'm hoping the Hood's powers are just another example of people like Spider-Man, guys with crazy powers. But just in case, I plan to consult with an expert on the occult named Cassandra Webb. Probably a scam artist, but better safe than sorry. Who knows? Maybe chatting with this strange old woman can get me some solid evidence on him. I should be celebrating. Between us, Spider-Man, and the task force, we're scoring win after win. The Hood, Mr. Negative, Hammerhead, Herman Schultz, the Russian mob, Silvermane, the Big Man, the Crime Master, all crushed. The bosses are in jail and their men are on the run. So why can't I shake the feeling that something a lot worse is going to take their place? Maybe because it always does. I keep hearing about this new crime lord, the Kingpin, consolidating what's left of the other boss's mobs. But no one seems to have met him in person or knows his real name. He's either really smart, or he scares the hell out of people. Or both. He's playing with fire trying to get criminals who were shooting at each other a few days ago to work together. But if he can pull it off, he'll be the most powerful gangster New York's ever seen. The Kingpin has friends in high places. I'm getting a lot of pressure to stop looking into him, and an offer to work in corporate security at Horizon Labs with a big raise. If the Kingpin's got this much influence, part of me wants to bring him down more than ever. But another part of me thinks I should take the job, because his next move won't be as nice. And if his reach is as long as it seems, there's no way I can stop him.
Today's the day. The day everything changes. Spider-Man saved my life. He noticed me. And the big shots at Oscorp are going to notice me too, when they get a look at the plans for my brand new power grid. I'll be rich. I can get Mama a nurse to take care of her. She'll see I'm not a loser. I can feel it all right. This is the day the name Max Dillon starts to mean something. There's got to be a mistake. They're using my power grid. It's exactly the way I designed it. They have to know that. Mama says they stole it, and I was stupid not to take out a patent. But I've worked for Oscorp for years. They wouldn't do that to me. It's an oversight, that's all. Everyone's so sad that Mr. Osborn died, they forgot. I'll just go in and talk to the boss. I'll go to Mr. Mencken if I have to. They'll notice me. I'll make them. I don't know what happened. I thought I was dead, electrocuted. Everything went black. I was so scared. Always been afraid of the dark. But I don't feel scared anymore. I don't feel weak. I feel full of power, alive with energy. I don't have to be scared of the dark now. I can make my own light. But I need more. More energy, more power. I know where to go. Where the lights never go out. Mama was right. I didn't want to believe it, but it's true. They're all out to get me. The police, Oscorp, even Spider-Man. I thought he was my friend, but he hurt me, locked me up, and now they say I'm crazy. They want to put me in the dark and shut the door forever. Well, I won't let them. I'll find a way out, and when I do, I'll show them all. I'll trap all of them in the dark. Forever. Ravencroft. I hate this place. They hook me up to machines and hurt me. Then they shut me away, ignore me. That Mr. Mencken is a terrible person. The things he's doing, not just to me, but to everyone in here, he needs to be punished. They all need to be punished. And they will be. They don't know. I'm getting stronger. A little bit more every day. And soon, I'll teach them a lesson. All these doctors say they want to know about me, but they don't. They just want to know how to get my power. I wouldn't tell them even if I knew. They think I'm lying. They say horrible things about my mother. Don't they realize I already know? I saw her on TV saying I was a disappointment, not right in the head. Who does she think made me that way? I might as well face it. I'm alone. But it's okay. It's like the educational films used to say. Electricity is my friend. All the friend I need. There's a new guy in here, Cletus. He's not like me. He belongs here. He talks at night, tells everyone who can hear all the bad things he's done. I know him. He's what I always knew was hiding in the dark. I heard him screaming earlier, but it sounded like laughing. They're doing something to him. Are they stupid? Can't they see? Can't they see he likes it? I've got a secret. One of the transformers is close to overloading. I can feel it. I know. They should know too, but they haven't noticed. The last time a technician came in, Mr. Mencken chased him out. I guess he thinks he's too important to waste time on maintenance. That's just fine with me. Because when that transformer blows, they can't hold me anymore. And then they'll all be sorry. Where am I? How did I get back into the city? That transformer must have overloaded and I got out. Escaped into the power lines and came out here. But why can't I remember? Mencken was there. Made me breathe gas. Made it dark again. No! It doesn't matter. I'm free. They'll never lock me up again. Spider-Man, the police, the doctors. I'll die before I let them hurt me again. Or they'll die. I like that better. Spider-Man. I thought he was my friend. I thought he cared. He hurt me bad. He said I was his eyes and ears. But he lied. They all lie. I know what he can do now. He won't trick me this time. He'll never send me back to Ravencroft, and he can't kill me. Energy can't be created or destroyed, only transformed. And I've only just begun transforming.
Mencken to all agents. It is with a heavy heart that I must report the death of our founder and CEO, Norman Osborn, from the disease he fought so bravely for so many years. Let me reassure you that Oscorp remains strong. Certain arrangements must be worked out, but as of this moment, rest assured that I am in control and will operate Oscorp in accordance with its proud traditions for as long as is required of me. Mencken to all agents. Against my advice, our late founder's son, Harry, has decided to run Oscorp himself. Legally, this is his right, but in order to promote continuity of operations and a smooth changeover, I would remind you that you work for me, and will continue to report directly and only to me. Further, you will keep a man watching young Mr. Osborn at all times, covertly. This is, of course, for his own protection in an extremely hostile business climate. Mencken to cleanup agents. There has been an unfortunate accident at Oscorp. Max Dillon, a low-level employee in the maintenance department, violated safety protocols and was electrocuted. In order to spare the poor fellow's family, and the company, any embarrassment, you are to scrub all security databases of any reference to Mr. Dillon or his activities. Disposal of the remains will be handled with utmost discretion. Mencken to Ravencroft agents. Your duties at the Ravencroft Institute are to continue. While Norman Osborn has passed on, our cutting-edge research can still have benefits. While I do not expect any resistance from the doctors at Ravencroft, a reminder that without Oscorp's funding they would lose their jobs should quiet any complaints. Once again, you are to report solely to me on all Ravencroft-related matters. Mencken to Ravencroft agents. Max Dillon is being transferred to Ravencroft. Inform the doctors that I want to know immediately why this man is not dead, how he came by his electrically based abilities, and whether this can be reproduced. Make it clear to them that Dillon has been classified as a domestic terrorist, and all enhanced techniques are pre-approved. Mencken to all agents. Following Oscorp's establishment of the Joint Anti-Crime Task Force with Fisk Industries, you are to provide whatever cooperation you may to executive-level Fisk employees. Any instructions from Mr. Fisk are to be treated as if they come from me. If you have any concerns, communicate them to me via the dedicated phone number and/or email address I have provided for task force-related matters. Mencken to Ravencroft agents. Activity in the Venom Wing is to be doubled. Authorization comes directly from Mr. Osborn. He feels that Richard Parker's spider venom experiments are the key to preventing him from sharing his father's fate. I realize this will require additional test subjects. A new inmate, A serial killer by the name of Cletus Cassidy will be available to you soon. He is not someone whose welfare is of great concern to the public. Mencken to senior agents. I am growing concerned about Mr. Osborne's mental state. He is exhibiting angry outbursts, paranoia, and secretiveness. While I do hope it will not come to this, I feel it is time to explore our options should a change in leadership prove necessary. Make sure you record and bring to my attention any behavior that can be used as evidence pertaining to Mr. Osborne's lack of fitness for his position. Mencken to all agents. I have lost contact with the men watching Harry Osborne and am receiving reports of alarms at Oscorp. Notify the police immediately. Also, forward them whatever data we have concerning Mr. Osborne's deteriorating state of mind. I believe he is a danger to himself and others. We have done all we can to protect him. We must now think of the bigger picture, the survival of Oscorp itself. Mencken to Ravencroft agents. Evacuate immediately. Cletus Cassidy has escaped. He has been altered by the venom serum and is extremely dangerous. Do not take time to scrub evidence of experiments in the venom wing. Exit Ravencroft and lock it down as soon as possible. Frankly, gentlemen, I do not see how Oscorp can survive today's events. This will be my final communication. Should you be lucky enough to survive, you are on your own.
My father left me everything he had. His fortune, Oscorp, and the disease that killed him. According to our medical records, it's moving faster in me than it did in him. The things he did to extend his life won't work for me. I need to find a cure, and I need to find it fast. But the most promising line of research was his old partner Richard Parker's work with cross-species genetics. And Parker disappeared over 10 years ago. As if I didn't have enough problems. Now I have to worry about Oscorp being stolen out from under me. Donald Mencken's supposed to work for me. And for now, he's doing what I say. But it's obvious he'd like to run the place. Then there's Wilson Fisk. He keeps offering to buy the company. I might even sell it, if I didn't need Oscorp's research division to find a cure for my disease. I've got to watch them. They'd both stab me in the back without thinking twice. I caught up with Peter Parker. We used to be pretty good friends when we were kids, and our dads were partners. I was hoping he might be able to tell me more about his father's research, but he doesn't know any more than I do. Less, actually. Based on Dad's papers, I get the impression Richard Parker went on the run because Dad wanted to weaponize his research. Typical Norman Osborn. He either ran off or killed the one guy who might have been able to save his life. Every day a new crisis, a new distraction. Armed lunatics take hostages in our building. Some low-level employee gets himself electrocuted on the job. I don't need this. I can't have it. And the whole city's a mess. If the police can't keep order, I will. The battle armor we're developing for the military could help. I don't have the connections in local government to make it work, but I know a potential investor who does. Fisk knows about my disease. How? He's got spies in Oscorp. That's the only answer. I can't trust anyone. And that fat vulture's just biding his time. As soon as I show a sign of weakness, he'll say I'm unfit to run the company. He'll take it from me. And then I'm as good as dead. I've got to find a cure, and I don't have time to go through legal channels. I need human test subjects now. And I can find all I need at the Ravencroft Institute. If they want my funding, they'll do what I say. The research at Ravencroft's not working. All the experiments, the formulas, the cross-species genetic engineering, all they do is create monsters. My researchers think Spider-Man's a cross-species, the only stable one. but they don't know why. Richard Parker was working on a formula derived from spider venom. Could Spider-Man be a result of that? Did Richard Parker create him before he vanished? I've got to find out. And Peter Parker's the guy who can help me. The whole world's against me. Even the people who are supposed to protect me, to work for me, to be my friends. They all want me dead, so they can take what's mine. Well, that's not going to happen, because I have a plan. I won't tell Mencken. Either he's in Fisk's pocket, or he's out to get me himself. I won't tell anyone. I'll just do it. And then, everyone who betrayed me is going to regret it. I've found some men on the anti-crime task force who I can trust. Well, not trust so much as I can buy their loyalty. They don't like Mencken, they don't like Fisk, but they love money. They'll do anything, even kill, if I pay them enough. That's exactly what I need. I can't wait any longer. I've got enemies all around, and it's time to make my move. Then, they'll all pay. It's done. I injected myself with Richard Parker's spider venom formula. At first, I thought it had gone wrong, horribly wrong. There was so much pain. But change is always painful, even when it's for the better. And I'm so much better now. Sure, there are some little hiccups, but a few nips and tucks, some drugs and needles, and a bone saw, and plenty of screaming. And everything will be better. Then, I'll think about what to do to myself. It won't stop. The pain, the changes, they won't stop. Damn that Spider-Man. If he won't let me study him alive, I'll study him dead. I'll dissect him like a frog, find out what makes him stable, and do it to myself. Then I'll kill them all. Mencken, Fisk, that guy who looked at me funny on the elevator. People who don't turn off their cell phones at the movies. Maybe I'll replace Spider-Man. I'll be the Amazing Goblin, the hero New York deserves.